All right,
Good morning.
everybody here?
Yep. Good morning.
All right, good. I'm gonna go ahead and start off. We're Gardner Minshew is gonna be the starting quarterback the 2024 season. Myself, Telesco, and Luke Getzey discussed it this morning. A lot of things went into it. It wasn't based off of last night. There's a lot of factors. So we feel like Gardner gives us the best opportunity to get off to a fast start, and that's what we're going with. We support him. Our team's behind it, our staff's behind it, our organization's behind it.
Good morning, Antonio. Not in terms of necessarily all the specifics, but what would you say outweighed in favor of Gardner over Aiden?
Yeah, experience, the operation, the processing, just everything we saw in practice. Some of it showed up in the games. A lot of stuff we can get better at. I don't think anything here is a finished product, but based off of where we want to go in the first quarter of the season, we feel like Gardner gives us the best opportunity.
Antonio, after you watch the film and have now sat here after 2 games, can you discuss with us your thoughts on your offensive line? Obviously, no Colton, but I'm just curious about your thoughts on the development of your offensive line.
I thought last night the protection was pretty good. I mean, the quarterback was clean for the most of the part. I don't think we gave up a sack. I think what you're seeing with Mumford and DJ, you see 2 guys that's really battling and competing. Really appreciate the 2 veterans that we had there, and Pete and Whitehair, and Andre James has been a true anchor and just a veteran presence for us. But credit to James, Craig, and Joe Philbin. They've done an outstanding job of just developing those guys. You know, at times it's not always perfect, especially when you get those younger guys in here, man. But the mentality is there, the finish, the strain. We're getting better and better each and every week, and you see some of our younger guys develop.
Antonio, now that you've made the decision, you've seen obviously weeks and weeks of him. Now you've seen 2 games. What are some of the things you'd like to see from Gardner going forward, the characteristics you want to see him leading this team?
Yeah, well, one, his personality is infectious. His energy is infectious. His leadership is infectious. Things of improvement, footwork, in the pocket, staying on script. There is some magic about him when he does break the pocket and does his thing, but there's a lot of times where, if the first, second read is there, we got to let it rip. So he understands that, and more importantly, taking care of the football.
AP, something that you mentioned after the Vikings game, we talked about it, the run defense was something that you were looking to improve. It seemed like the Cowboys had a good amount of success in that area yesterday. Is there something that kind of stood out to you when looking at the tape that's just kind of creating issues in that area?
Recording in progress.
Yeah, it's still an issue. I mean, it wasn't good enough. I think over 114 yards in the first half. Again, not the standard. A lot of leaky yards. We're not getting off blocks. We're not being violent enough up front. We're too talented, too skilled, too much length to stay blocked. And again, that's something I know our coach is going to harp on an individual, and we will continue to work on that. But that's not the standard. It's now been 2 weeks of it, and obviously we got to do more in practice.
Antonio, I know you've informed both quarterbacks. I'm just curious what the reaction was, not just from Gardner, but from Aiden moving forward.
Yeah. First and foremost, man, those 2 gentlemen are professionals. The way they've handled this competition has really resonated throughout our building, especially our staff and our team. They've cheered each other on. They've been good teammates. They brought out the best version of each other in practices and I think in the games. They both took it on the chin like a champ. And I told them, just both be ready. We saw in the National Football League, you never know. But Aiden is a young player that has a tremendous upside that I think will still be a starter here in this league. Excuse me, I think will be a starter at some point in this league, if it's this year or next year, but he will play in games. And I think, Gardner's done a good job of kind of like, being that older presence because he's played, a couple years in the league and he's been through some adversity. So that's been good for Aiden.
Antonio, could you please discuss Tommy Eichenberg and him and going forward?
Yeah, he's dealing with a lower leg injury. Hope to have him back here. He won't play in the preseason game, but hopefully we have him back by the regular season.
Hey, Antonio, when you've talked about the quarterback situation going forward, you've referred to the first quarter of the season getting off to that quick start. What does that mean? That there's I don't even know if the right phrase is a shorter leash, so to speak, or that you're just looking, why do you phrase it that way, I guess?
Well, I do everything in sections. I mean, you can look at the whole season, but we want to get off to a fast start, right? We got 2 games on the road, 2 at home. That's the first quarter of the season for us.
Anything else, guys? All right, Coach, I think we're all good.
All right, thank you.